12 new cruise fees quietly added since 2023. Most seniors are still paying them. Something quietly changed in how cruise lines charge passengers since 2023, and most people did not notice because it happened one fee at a time. 12 separate charges have been added or significantly increased across the major cruise lines. None are clearly announced at booking. They appear on your onboard statement, usually by day 2, by which point you are already at sea and the choices are already made. Today on Cruise Smart, we go through all 12. Stay through to number 8. That one catches more passengers over 65 off guard than any other charge on this list. Number 1. The room service delivery fee. Room service used to be included in your cruise fare on almost every major line. That quietly changed between 2021 and 2023. Today, most major cruise lines charge a delivery fee between $5 and $10 per order, separate from any food or drink costs. On Royal Caribbean, the fee currently runs around $6 for most items. Carnival is around $5. Norwegian is closer to $10. Princess and Holland America have their own versions of the same charge. If you are used to ordering room service the way you did a few years ago, your onboard account will reflect a total that surprises you. The smart move before your next cruise is to check your cruise line's current room service policy in advance. On some ships, continental breakfast items are still complimentary, but only if you know to ask. Otherwise, the delivery fee applies automatically. If you plan to use room service more than once or twice, check whether a room service package is available for your sailing. Some ships offer a flat fee daily plan that works out to less per order than paying individually. Number 2. The pool towel charge. Most cruise lines now issue towel cards or scan passengers out a towel at the pool deck. If the towel is not returned by the end of the day, a replacement charge appears on your account. The amount varies by cruise line, but typically runs between $25 and $30 per towel. On some ships, the system is electronic, and the charge clears when you return the towel before midnight. On others, you have until the morning. The situation passengers run into most often is simple. They forget the towel in the cabin or leave it on a chair and it gets collected. Before you head down each sea day, make a mental note of where your towel ends up. At the end of the day, carry it back to the desk yourself rather than leaving it on the chair. One towel charge per sailing adds up fast when there are 2 of you. If you are unsure whether your ship uses the card system, ask at the towel desk on your first sea day. Knowing the policy before the first charge appears is always better than disputing it afterward at guest services. Number 3. The daily gratuity increase. This is not a new fee. Cruise lines have charged daily gratuities for years, but the amounts have increased significantly since 2022, and many passengers are still budgeting the old numbers. As of 2026, most major cruise lines charge between $18 and $22 per person per day in automatic gratuities, depending on the line and cabin category. Suite guests typically pay more. On a 7-night cruise with 2 passengers, that is a combined gratuity total between $250 and $300 before any additional tipping. If you booked your cruise more than a year ago, verify the current daily gratuity rate before you sail. The amount on your original booking confirmation may reflect a rate that has since been updated. Knowing the real number lets you plan your onboard spending without a surprise at checkout. Number 4. The specialty restaurant no-show fee. Most major cruise lines now require a credit card to hold a specialty dining reservation. What fewer passengers realize is that many lines added a no-show or late cancellation fee for specialty bookings not canceled within a set window, usually 24 to 48 hours before the reservation time. The fee varies, but typically runs between $15 and $25 per person. If you book a specialty dinner for 2 on formal night and then decide to go to the main dining room instead, and you do not cancel in advance, that charge may appear on your account automatically. Before your next cruise, read the specialty dining cancellation policy for your specific line. Set a phone reminder to cancel any reservation you no longer plan to keep at least 24 hours out. If you are finding these useful, please subscribe to Cruise Smart before you scroll on. We publish practical cruise advice for passengers over 65 a few times each week. Number 5. The fitness class charge. If you used to take yoga, Pilates, or balance classes on board without paying extra, that has changed on most major cruise lines. Instructor-led classes in the ship's fitness center now carry a per-class fee on virtually every major North American cruise line. The amount typically runs between $12 and $25 per session, depending on the class and the line. General access to gym equipment is still free on most ships, but any class with an instructor, including stretching, stability, or low-impact sessions that many passengers over 65 find most useful, now comes with a separate charge. If you plan to attend classes regularly, check the fitness schedule on your cruise line's app or at the fitness desk on day one. Some ships offer a discounted multi-class package for the full week. Number 6. The port shuttle and ground transfer charge. Several years ago, many cruise lines included complimentary shuttle service from the pier to the nearest town center at major ports. That service has been eliminated or contracted out as a paid option on most lines. At some ports, you will find third-party shuttle operators offering the same route for around $10 to $15 each way per person. At others, a taxi or rideshare is the only option. If you have any mobility concerns, this matters more because the walk from the pier to the nearest town can be significant at some destinations. Before your next cruise, check each port day independently. Look up the pier location and the distance to the town center or attractions. Know in advance whether you will need to pay for ground transport so there are no surprises when you step off the ship. Before we get to the second half of this list, it is worth noting one thing. None of these fees are hidden in a way that could not be found with the right questions. They are in the fine print, but the fine print is designed to be skimmed, and cruise lines know that most passengers do not read it carefully before boarding. The passengers who avoid these charges are not the ones who got lucky. They are the ones who checked in advance. The next 6 items are where checking ahead makes the biggest difference. Number 7. The loyalty Wi-Fi benefit reduction. If you earn status through a cruise line's loyalty program, one of the most common benefits used to be complimentary Wi-Fi or a significant discount on a Wi-Fi package. Several major cruise lines have reduced or restructured these benefits since 2022. On some lines, the complimentary Wi-Fi that once came with mid-tier loyalty status has moved to the highest tier only. On others, the benefit now covers a single device rather than multiple, or applies only to a basic speed plan. Before your next cruise, log into your loyalty account and read the current benefit summary for your status level. Do not assume the Wi-Fi benefit you had 2 or 3 sailings ago still applies in the same form. Number 8. The Solo Traveler Single Supplement Increase. This is the charge that catches more passengers over 65 off guard than almost anything else on this list, especially passengers who are widowed or who simply prefer to travel alone. Cruise lines price cabins for 2 occupants. When you travel alone, a single supplement covers the empty spot. That supplement has increased on most major lines since 2020. On many ships today, the single supplement ranges from 75% to 100% extra above the double occupancy rate. On some voyages, it reaches 150%. For a cruise priced at $2,000 per person for double occupancy, a solo traveler could pay $3,000 to $4,000 for the same cabin. If you are cruising alone, research the single supplement before you book rather than after. Ask specifically about solo cabin availability. Some lines offer dedicated studio cabins at a much lower supplement. On certain sailings, those cabins have no supplement at all. Number 9. The corkage fee at dinner. Many passengers know that most cruise lines allow a limited amount of wine or champagne on board for personal use. What has changed is how consistently the corkage fee is now applied when you bring that wine to the main dining room or a specialty restaurant. Corkage fees at dining venues typically run between $15 and $35 per bottle. In the past, these were applied inconsistently. Increasingly, they are applied more routinely. If you plan to bring wine on board to enjoy at dinner, budget the corkage fee as a real cost. Check your cruise line's current policy before you sail, as the rules on how many bottles you may bring and where you may drink them vary by line. Number 10. The photo package price increase. If you have purchased a digital photo package on a cruise in the past few years, you may have noticed the price climb significantly since 2022. Unlimited digital photo packages that once ran around $150 per sailing now often start at $200 to $300 or more on many major lines. The smart approach is to compare the package price before you board against the per photo price. On some ships, individual digital downloads run $25 to $35 per image. On others, the package still offers value if you plan to have multiple portrait sessions taken. If you want photos from the cruise but do not want to pay full package pricing, plan to have photos taken at one or two meaningful moments, formal night or a significant port, rather than across the whole sailing. That keeps the per photo cost manageable. Number 11. Specialty dining package surcharges. Many passengers book a dining package before the cruise, paying a set amount in advance for a certain number of specialty restaurant meals. What quietly changed on several cruise lines is how those packages apply at the venue. Some specialty restaurants that were fully included in dining packages a few years ago now carry an additional per-person upcharge when you use the package there. This surcharge is listed in the package terms, but easy to miss when booking. Before your next cruise, if you purchase a dining package, read the terms carefully and look for the word surcharge or supplemental charge next to individual restaurant names. Call the cruise line directly if anything is unclear. Know the full cost per meal before you are seated. Number 12. Non-refundable onboard credit terms. This is less a new fee and more a quiet change to how cruise line promotions work. Many cruise lines offer onboard credit as part of a booking promotion. What has changed is that this credit now increasingly expires at midnight on the final night of the cruise, carries restrictions on what it can be applied to, or is split into refundable and non-refundable portions. Non-refundable onboard credit cannot be cashed out if unused. It applies only to onboard purchases and disappears at the end of the sailing if you do not spend it. When you book, ask specifically whether your onboard credit is refundable or non-refundable, what it can be used for, and when it expires. Then plan your onboard spending to use it intentionally. A good strategy is to reserve the onboard credit for a specific purpose: a spa treatment, a specialty dinner, a photo package, and book that item in the first 2 days before you forget. Passengers who discover the restrictions on the last night of the cruise are the ones who lose it. These 12 charges did not appear all at once. They arrived quietly, one at a time, over several years. Most passengers only find them when they are already at sea. The best protection is knowing what to expect before you book your next cruise. Check your cruise line's current fee details directly, on their website, or by calling and asking specifically about each of these charges. The answers are available. Most passengers simply never ask. If these tips were useful, give this video a like and subscribe to Cruise Smart. We cover practical cruise advice like this for passengers over 65 a few times each week. What is the most surprising charge you have ever found on your cruise account? Tell us in the comments below. We read every one.